I'm Aaron Zimala, and you are watching Marketing Tip Tea Time. Today is the fourth episode of season 4, and let me tell you, I almost can't believe the guest we have today. Today we have Colja Dams, and I'm going to jump in and give you a little bio about him, but let me tell you, we are so excited for this episode, and if you are watching right now, then thank you so much. We love all of our watchers, our listeners, and just as a heads up, you can rewatch or re-listen to Marketing Tip Tea Time on YouTube, Facebook, and any of your podcasting platforms that you prefer to listen on. So do make sure that if you do have to run or you want to go back and rewatch something, you're able to do that. So I'm going to jump in and talk to you about Colja. Colja M. Dams is the owner and CEO of VOK DAMS Worldwide, an international agency that has been at the forefront of the international events and live marketing industry since 1971. Its many international awards and distinctions confirm VOK Dams' reputation as one of the leading agencies worldwide, both for live and digital formats. So please help me in welcoming Colja Dams. Here he is. Hey,
Hi,
Colja.
Aaron. Thank you for having me.
Yes, yes. And everyone who's watching, Colja is in Germany. And what time is it in Germany right now, Colja?
It's about 10:30 now, so closer
Yes.
to beer time than to tea time.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, thank you so much for coming on the show. So late. We're working across international lines now. And we were going to turn this into marketing tip beer time. It just didn't have quite the same ring to it. So today we have a very special tea with Colja, and I wanted to make sure that we give the tea the proper attention that it needs. And I need to give a huge shout out to Rishi Tea and Botanicals, which is they're the ones who sent us this. We got the Nishi Sencha First Flush, which is I haven't tried this before, but they really helped us out getting this to Colja and getting it to us in time for the show. And we're actually going to be very scientific with it today. So we have 1.5 tablespoons in this here, and then we're going to do 1.5 minutes of steeping, and let's see how this goes. So I'm going to pour this in here. And Colja is doing this a little bit different than how we do it.
Yeah, I do it the Chinese style, so just put it in the bottom of a glass, and you can tell if it's a good tea that it goes right to the bottom. And having green tea in a green
Oh.
screen studio is tricky.
Right. I see what you're saying. Okay, okay. So for this, we didn't even necessarily need this infuser, is what you're telling me. That the infuser is
No,
did
it is
not.
actually you can use it like this, and you can reuse it up to 5 times, and it really starts tasting better. Wow, amazing color.
Oh, I'm excited. I'm excited. All right, so I've started my timer over here. And I just wanted to dive into the teas real quick. And so we're doing this out of order today because the tea really needed some extra special attention. We're now going to dive
Mm.
back into our sponsors and give a shout out to our two sponsors for this season. The first one is Whole Brain Consulting. Whole Brain Consulting is an outsourced operations consultancy that specializes in the consumer products industry, providing solutions catered to your needs. Services include QA, QC, supply chain, operations, logistics, R&D, and private equity due diligence. And now we also have Color World. And Color World is your one-stop shop for everything anime. From metal bookmarks to teas to hangouts with voice actors, Color World is the place to grab something for yourself or for a friend. Go to colorworldlive.com for more information. Okay, now back to Colja. Um, we're so excited to have you on the show. My gosh, you are the CEO of VOK DAMS Worldwide, and we have a very special presentation from Colja so that we can dive in and see what exactly VOK DAMS is. But what does VOK DAMS do? What is the core of your business?
In a nutshell, we do events. We do corporate events. So anytime a company wants to launch a new product, a new service, this is when they call us in, and we help them show this to the press, to their customers. Would you like me to jump into a quick
Oh, of course.
presentation?
Yes, yes. Please show us.
Okay,
Please show us. I'm excited.
I'll do this. Actually, I'm here in my studio, and I'm just going to show you because this is my home studio. So please
Wow.
welcome Claudia, my partner in life and business, who helps me run the studio here today.
Hi, Claudia.
And so really quick on what we do. So we come from an area of live events. We have been in the industry for almost 50 years, doing everything from launching Lamborghinis here at Miami International Airport, or doing like the Bayer Aspirin anniversary, bringing all employees worldwide together, or the anniversary of 100 years BMW, bringing together thousands of people, or launching a new BMW in a cargo plane and flying it around from New York to LA to Beijing, China, and showing the car in a cargo plane on the tarmac of or doing like classical booth at trade shows all over the world. Then we had this virus issue, but this virus issue is everywhere gone, but in Germany and China. So, but we have been quite in this industry, and I'm kind of a bit of a techie. So we've been going from live events into fully digital, and now we are going into hybrid, combining really the best of both worlds from live and digital. And the advantage is, especially in times where people are still a bit hesitant to fly, you can also choose how far hybrid, how far live you go. And we have been doing lots of events in the last 2 years, many of them already in hybrid. And I'd like to show you a bit of the open platform that we developed. And to show this open platform, I'd say we just jump into it. And I always pretend this is our headquarters, Wuppertal. It's not, but it looks nice. So now we're in our virtual studio, like the metaverse. And I was telling you about the presentation. Our platform is open. Our platform is intuitive. It is safe to use. It is able to be fast roll out within days or hours if needed. And it is creative. It is extremely creative and fun to use. And let's go up on the roof and take a look how the front end, the user, is seeing that. So now we're going on to the roof. I was about to go to the kitchen, but let's pick the roof for now. And basically, it's like any online events platform. You can use it with chat and everything to do with it. And I'd like to just share with you a quick, fast interactions that we're using that are extremely fun, like chat roulette, where you are mixed up with people and at random. And this is really amazing. And we are a huge fan of the product Genius, where you're linked up with a product explainer one-on-one. And this is happening for lots of our clients now, not just for the event, for everything that goes from there. But I'd like to end with the campfire gene in all of us, because the campfire gene that is leading us back to the life experience as it has been in the beginning of mankind. And I'd say, Claudia, let's go back to the studio.
Wow. That is amazing. So as many people are probably wondering in the audience, you've got your full body here in these virtual spaces, and that is as a direct result of the studio that you just showed us and that green screen that you have it where you're at right now, correct?
Correct.
Wow. So it's not an avatar sort of thing for the presenter.
No.
It is a legit entire body shot.
Absolutely.
Oh my gosh. And we actually do have a question from one of our people in our office. Actually, he was wondering how can a company have access to this and use it for an event? Has it been rolled out yet? What does it cost? All of
Um,
those
um, it,
questions.
it, yeah, no, well, thank you for the question. No, it actually has been rolled out, and we're using it for quite a few multinational companies for international hybrid events already.
Wow, that's fantastic. And that
So
question
just
was
drop
from
me a
Daniel
line. I'm
James.
happy to
Okay,
help.
perfect, perfect. And I think our tea is actually ready to probably try here. So this will be my
It's
first sip.
it's an amazing color, and
That is beautiful. I wonder if let's see.
it's great. So
Oh,
thank you
that's
for
a good
sending this
tea.
tea all through like 10,000 miles. It's amazing.
Wow. Thank you, Rishi. This I've had sort of a tea
Mm.
epiphany with with this tea. If you have the chance to grab this tea, seriously, I know that we have a lot of teas on the show. This tea is top notch. This is an amazing tea. Again, this is Nishi Sencha First Flush. Thank you to Rishi Tea and Botanicals again. Wow, that's really amazing. I'm surprised. This is the shock factor here. All
It's
right.
just, I mean, you get addicted to this. So
Yes.
believe me.
Exactly. All right. Well, we're gonna jump into some of our questions that we've programmed. And anybody who's watching or listening, you can go ahead and drop a question in the comments, and we will see if we have enough time to answer those as the show proceeds. So our first line of questioning is just rapid fire. It's this or that, something that you prefer. And the first question is, do you prefer coffee or tea?
I'm addicted to green tea, so I'll drink about 2 liters of green tea a day.
Wow. 2 liters. How do we have somebody who can let's see here. 2 liters is probably how many gallons is that? Like it's got to be some amount of. That's half a
I
gallon.
should know that, but
It's half a gallon. That's a lot. All right,
yeah.
print or digital media?
I that's difficult to answer in one word, but I love haptic media so that I can really read a magazine. So if I can get a hold of a
Okay.
magazine, I will.
Okay. Perfect. And then virtual, in person, or hybrid events?
I love hybrid events.
Perfect. And what's the reasoning behind the hybrid?
The idea behind hybrid actually came up way before this virus hit us. And the idea is to really combine the best of both worlds. You have this intimate, close contact as in a live in-person event, combined with the unlimited scalability of a digital event. So you're just combining best of both worlds.
Yeah. Yep. Yep. Exactly. And you had talked about the campfire sort of gene, which is that wanting to be in person, but then hybrid also makes things way more globally accessible, right? To bring in people
Absolutely.
from all around the world. Okay, so diving back into VOK DAMS, what is the craziest or most exciting event that you have ever worked on? And tell us a story behind it.
Okay, we actually do exciting events all over the time, but probably one of the most exciting ones was the launch of a new Lamborghini Mount Etna, which happened to be Mount Etna is a volcano, which happened to erupt just the week before we did the launch, and we continued launching the car next to an erupting volcano. We'll probably never do this again, but this was extremely exciting.
Wow. And so were there any safety concerns during that time or what was the what was the protocol for a volcano?
Right. That is the interesting point of it because there was no protocol and no one had an idea what we were getting us into. But of course, if you position a car that is like on the fine line of life and death, and then this fits perfectly. Um, I was still a lot younger doing this, so probably now no one in his right mind will pull off an event next to an erupting volcano again.
Okay, so are you the only company in the world maybe that has done this? Who has done an event next to an
I
erupting
wouldn't
volcano?
know, but I probably guess, yes.
Wow, that's amazing. And so, correct me if I'm wrong, but your dad was the founder of VOK
Correct.
Dams, correct? So tell us a little bit about how you prepared to become the CEO and to take over. And if you could, we know that you studied abroad a little bit. If you could touch on maybe how that experience also translated for you.
It actually helped me a lot because my father's idea was, when I was still going to school, that I should better learn English because he could feel even 50 years ago that the entire business goes a lot more international. So my father encouraged me to spend a year at in high school in Florida. This is where I met our mutual friend and my host brother, Chris. And I've
Chris.
ever been back to the, yeah, hi, Chris. And I've ever been back to the US quite some time, also spent some time at university in the US. And this is extremely helpful to learn about different cultures and also to be able to speak English, a language that is universally spoken worldwide. German as itself doesn't get you that far.
Right. Wow. And so in learning English, are there any other languages that you would say somebody should also know in addition to English?
Yeah, unfortunately, I only speak English, but I believe nowadays Chinese would be extremely helpful as well. Unfortunately, I feel a bit too old to learn Chinese, but I would love to speak more languages. I actually
Right.
had 7 years of French at school, but I never used my French that much, so it's
Yeah.
mostly lost.
And you have an office in China, correct? You have how
We,
many offices
co-
worldwide?
We have a total of 19 offices, and we have 3 offices in China, Beijing, Shanghai, and Hong Kong. And this is a very exciting business in China. And we have an amazing team in China working for international brands from all different industries, from automotive to specialty chemicals to consumer electronics to
Wow.
um, everything. So, especially China is an amazing market for live and digital and hybrid events.
Wow. That is very impressive. 19 offices worldwide. That's amazing. And so yeah, Chinese would probably be a good language. And what do you think about Spanish? I know Spanish is becoming more prevalent around the world now as well. Um,
Absolutely.
I
I
know
also
becoming a
love to speak Spanish, especially if you do events in Europe. You usually end up doing them in Spain because the weather is a lot better than up north in Europe. So Spain is
wow.
like the sun belt of Europe. And this is why most of the live events are happening in Barcelona or other fun Spanish cities. So speaking
Okay.
Spanish is extremely helpful.
I bet. I bet. And as you've been building your company, I know that when you took it over, you were really looking at innovation and getting into the hybrid digital space. Can you tell us a little bit about what the biggest challenges that you had to overcome in expanding this direction were?
I believe the biggest challenge probably is doing something new while everyone keeps telling you we are extremely good at what we are doing right now. Then you do know I need to take it a step forward. And this is a challenge, also pushing yourself and motivating everyone to really taking it to a different step. And this is why I always love the agile way of working, everyone on eye to eye level as one team, really
Right.
moving innovation forward.
That's great. And for some of our viewers who might not know exactly what the Agile framework is, can you explain that very quickly?
That would take a bit longer, but trying to do it. Agile in a nutshell is about a mindset. A mindset so that you're not just going by a plan where in comparison to a waterfall plan where one thing happens after the other, you develop an agile mindset where everyone is on the same page as one team with no hierarchies, working together to get the best sustainable and quality-wise product delivered. It actually comes from the software industry. Developing software has been extremely popular there, and we adapted agile project management to agile event management, combining the best from Scrum, design thinking, Kanban, to really incorporate this into our project management world.
Wow. That was that was a great explanation. So it's essentially taking down the barriers of hierarchy and bureaucracy, having everyone on the same playing field, and then being very quick but very quality in the decisions and the innovation.
It's basically the normal mode of operations of a startup. Only as bigger as organizations get, they lose this momentum. And Agile working styles basically brings back this momentum in larger organizations. And therefore, even a lot of large multinational organizations are incorporating Agile new work methods. And it's working pretty well.
That's good. That's amazing. So anybody out there who's watching, who's thinking, how do I get to the next level? Or if I'm going to be part of a startup or an agile environment, what is that going to look like? That was a great answer for what to expect there. Now let's dive into let's dive into future events and what the next big thing is. So your company has been at the forefront of event innovation through hybrid, through digital. What is the next big thing that you would say the public can be looking forward to as far as events are moving forward?
I believe the next big thing is going to be metaverse. Metaverse becoming the operating system for hybrid events. So imagine that we are now getting together and we'll put on our VR glasses that will look like normal glasses, and you will have an experience almost as a live event, only that people are somewhere scattered around the world. And then you can have people together live and people attending digitally, but it feels live, and you do get this serendipity momentum that we all learned is key to live events. So I believe the next big thing is going to be the metaverse becoming the operating system for hybrid events.
Wow. And that's where you're working right now, is in this sort of area that you're developing, this open platform, correct?
Absolutely.
Wow. That's amazing. And we have another question from Daniel James. He is asking if you have a Lamborghini and if you have the VIP access to Lamborghini Italy. Thanks, Daniel.
No, I do not have a Lamborghini, but I'm actually, as a matter of fact, in 2 weeks again. Well, I'm looking forward for another fun Lamborghini event that I'll be attending.
Ooh, that sounds fun. That's amazing. Yeah, the taxes are probably a little high on owning a Lamborghini. Wow. And then we have another question here, which is, if someone wants to work in this industry, if they wanted to come and work for you, what are the skills and or knowledge that they need to have going into it?
As of today, there are lots of international courses on events management that are extremely helpful, but also people from all kinds of different fields, from classical marketing, advertising, strategic planning, but also from film industry, theatrical industries do have an opportunity to come into the industry. I believe by the end of the day, you do need an open mind. You need to be stress resistant, and you need to love what you're doing. And then this industry is just the right industry for you.
Perfect. And so, are you of the mindset that somebody coming in who's willing to learn and doesn't have as many skills might be more valuable that's coming in with some skills but is unwilling to learn and be flexible?
Absolutely. This is again comes back to the agile mindset. I believe in lifelong learning, and I'm learning from our conversation here today, from setup, and everyone is learning and constantly learning, and I believe this is also the fun out of it. So
Perfect. Perfect. Yeah, I think it's fun too because then you're never stagnant. You're always trying to get better, trying to learn. Platforms are changing. Um, yeah, exactly. I think that agile approach is something that is very powerful for any business, really. Let's see here. We have a question from Josh actually. And this is a good one. What daily habits or routines do you have that have helped you reach your level of success in business?
interesting question. So now we're coming, as I said in the beginning, I love green tea. I do actually love espresso coffee as well. So my daily habit, if I come to a new city, I bring my own green tea that I'm having in the hotel, but I'm always looking for the best place to get third wave, top notch espresso coffee. And then I go there and just have one tiny cup of espresso to fuel me for the day. And that is for every single city I'm coming to. I'll check out beforehand where to get the best coffee, and that helps.
So you check beforehand where the best coffee is
Yes,
in your city.
yes.
And how do you do that research? That for all the coffee lovers out there, my wife is one of those as well. How do you research to find the best coffee?
I mean, Google helps, and there is on Google Maps, there's actually a third wave map overlay that you can use that shows you all kinds of coffee places on Google. But sometimes it's, and the best tips you get from other people. If you know someone who also loves a good cup of coffee and they recommend you their favorite place, this is the one to check out.
That's amazing. And speaking of drinks, I'm actually going to try this second flush here
Flush, yeah.
before we wrap up the show. And while we're doing this, if there are any more questions, now is your chance to get questions to Colja Dams. I'll be seeing how the flavor
Ac-
changes.
Actually, the second one is supposed to be better than the first one, even. So after the first one was amazing, the second one, you'll be surprised now.
And do I steep it for the same amount of time? Is that the
Yeah, about.
okay? Okay, okay.
And the trick, I mean, you did it right. What is extremely important that you take the water not extremely hot. I'm not good in Fahrenheit, but if you take the too hot water, you're gonna kill all the good stuff in green tea. So just make
Ah,
sure your water is not that hot.
that makes sense.
Let's see, it probably says in Fahrenheit as well. Is it 188? Yeah,
It says,
that is the
okay.
magic number then.
Wow. We have another question that just came up while this is steeping from Josh. What tips do you have for building strong business relationships that last?
Building strong relationships, I believe transparency is extremely important. So relationships, no matter if they're private or in business, they're based on trust. And trust and transparency go together. And then if you walk the talk, it is working out extremely well. And LinkedIn is helping as well
Oh,
to
LinkedIn.
keep in touch
Yes.
over time. Yes.
Yep. Yep, LinkedIn is I like that tool. It's very powerful. I've noticed, and you're very active on LinkedIn. I mean, you post maybe between 5 and 10 times a day on LinkedIn.
Yeah, nope. But I love LinkedIn, and LinkedIn as being a pure business environment is extremely helpful. And as of now, we do get probably 3 to 4 out of 5 RFPs will get through LinkedIn right now. So LinkedIn is extremely powerful.
Wow, that is a lot of RFPs, and they're sending you those over LinkedIn.
No, they get in touch over LinkedIn, and then we
Okay,
have to
I was
sign
like,
difficult
yeah,
NDAs and have encrypted lines how to exchange RFPs, which is extremely important if you're working on prototypes and products
yeah.
that the world doesn't know about up until the launch date. So,
Wow. So they get a hold of you and say, "All right, we have an RFP out. We'd like you to respond to," and then
absolutely.
oh my gosh. All right, so as we wrap up the show, what is the last bit of advice that you'd have for, let's say, a college student or somebody who's right out of school who is trying to make a difference and get to where they want to be as far as their career goes?
It's difficult, but the best of advice is probably just do what you love to do and get into it. Even while you're still going to school, see if you love the live events industry. There are countless of places you can get involved and get into it as fast and early as possible and just gain the experience. And a lot of people who just join, like my son, he's 19 now, and after being at a few live and digital events, you do get addicted fast to this industry. And then this is the best job in the world.
Right, yeah. And Zova also works in the event industry, and I can definitely back that up. That events become addicting. The timelines, the work, the people you're working with, it all gets very addicting, and it's a rush to get those projects done on time within the parameters that are set. So we really appreciate the time that you've given us today as well, Kolja, all the way from Germany, everyone, all the way from Germany. It is now very late where he is. We're looking at 11 p.m. his time, and we are so thankful, Kolja, for you to come on the show and give us this great advice. We call it spilling the tea, which is sort of one of our little phrases that we do, and we are just so thankful for all of the information and to all of our viewers, to everyone who listens, who watches, who has helped our production team, Bike Shop Agency. Josh, thank you to everyone. We love you all, and this was a great show, and we look forward to bringing more and more and more great shows so that you can learn more about marketing and what it is that it takes to be great in the marketing world. And this second flush, I've got to say, amazing, Kolja. This is fantastic, and we're so happy that you enjoyed the tea. So until next time, everyone,
Thank you for having me.
Like, subscribe, comment, share. This is available afterward. Thank you, Kolja. Everyone, na zdraví. Cheers. Thank you.
Thank you for having me. Bye.